Hello everyone, this is Bob Ryan with the Shed app, here to talk about a recent update that gives users the ability to customize dashboards to their unique preferences. This, along with extended visibility and visual controls, and improved graphing and analytics, will help you save time and focus on the information most important to you. As we go over the basic changes to the dashboard layout and look at some of the improvements we've made to the page, note that the available elements of the dashboard will vary by user role, so you may not have all of these dashboard elements available. Also keep in mind that we're using test data for this preview. We'll start here at the top with the Orders to Review. We've made this element the full screen width, simplifying the layout and providing more room for more information. As before, you can adjust the views on the elements by clicking the settings here at the upper right. The settings functionality is covered in earlier videos if you're looking for more information on that functionality. Now, let's come down here to the charts. First, notice that the dates for all the charts are right here. The dates that are set here will automatically update all of the dates on the dashboard. There are a couple of other changes with the dates as well. First, I can opt to click here to change the From time period. When I click, you'll see that I have the option to change the time period to this week, this month, or this year. I'll select this year. Notice that when we change the From time period, the Compared to time period here changes automatically to stay in sync with the From time period. These time periods will always show the same number of days. Having selected this year as the From time period, you can see the Compared to time period shows us data from the previous year. To look at a different time period, I can opt to advance or reverse the dates by clicking on these icons. I'll change the year from 2024 to 2021 as the From time period. The Compared to time period reads as Custom right now and is still showing 2023. If I want to, I can use the arrows to change the Compared to time period to 2020 and Previous Year. Note that all of the charts update automatically. Before we continue with the new chart settings, I'll click this icon at the far right to bring up the color palette. Here, we can use the default color palette or opt to use the primary and/or secondary brand color palettes. For this video, we're actually using white for the secondary color palette. We can also customize any of these palettes if we wish to, and save them if we choose. For now, I'll select the primary color palette and save it. Looking at the charts, you'll notice that similar to the operation charts we recently released, you can hover here and view the chart full screen, or export the chart in any of these formats. The dashboard charts automatically calculate and display various statistics. You can also turn chart data on and off by clicking the series in the legend, like this. We can access the chart configuration and filters by clicking the filter icon here. The settings for the X or horizontal axis and the Y or vertical axis are indicated here and here, respectively. The X-axis controls how the data is grouped, and the Y-axis controls how the data is summed or counted, depending on the data being displayed. This flexible tool provides you, the user, with a lot of control over how you view your data. To update the axis controls, I can click on the settings here to select the first variable for my X-axis. I'll select Date Submitted. This will group the data by the date submitted. Then, by clicking here, I can make a unit selection for the axis, selecting a day of the week, day of the month, day of the year, week of the year, or month. I'll select the month, and when I do, you see that the chart automatically updates to reflect the selection. Of course, depending on the primary variable I select for the axis, I may not have a unit selection available. For example, if the x-axis variable I select is to group by salesperson, I do not have the option of selecting a unit. For now, I'll change this to date created, and then select day of the month as the unit. I have the same flexibility with the y-axis. I can select the variable for the y-axis here, and then select the value that I want to examine here. I'm going to select the ID variable, which only has the count option available. Before moving on, let's take a look at our chart again and make sure we understand what it is we're looking at. First, with our time period selection, we're looking at all of 2021 as the from time period. Then we have all of 2020 selected as our compared to time period. Next, based on our choice of chart configuration, we're looking at the count of order IDs as our y-axis, grouped by day of the month of the date created, which is our x-axis setting. So what I'm seeing on the chart is the count of the order IDs for each day of the month for the entire year. For example, on day 21 of the month of 2021, there were 58 quotes created, and in 2020, there were 149. Notice that with this chart configuration, we are looking at the total number of quotes that were created for the 21st day of the month for every month of the year. And if I look at the stats for this configuration, I can see that an average of 61.55 quotes were created each day of the month for the entire year, and a maximum of 88 quotes were created in a day. And looking at my data on the chart, those 88 quotes were created on day 8 of the month. Conversely, if I want to only see the data for this month, I need to change my time period to this month by clicking here. Next, let's look at the filters right here. First, you'll notice that each chart has a set of filters that cannot be edited. In essence, this is the basis for the chart distinction. For example, here on the quote chart, the thing that makes this chart different from the other charts is that we are looking at the order entry with date created being the required variable, and we're looking at the sale order types. Below this, however, we have the ability to update and/or add filters so that I can set up the charts exactly as I need them. The controls available in the charts are powerful and offer a lot of flexibility for customizing your dashboards to best suit your workflows. Lastly, you will notice that I have a prompt here to save changes or discard them. If I opt to save the changes, this will create a new view, similar to the views that we now have available on the tables. Each view shows up as a tab on the chart. By clicking on this icon here, I can add or manage different views. Finally, let's move here to the upper right corner and click on Customize Dashboard Setting. This gives us the ability to rearrange each element by dragging and dropping, and you can turn visibility on and off by clicking on this icon. Again, keep in mind that the available dashboard elements will vary by user role. Alright, that completes this update. We trust that these dashboard customization tools will help you and your team quickly and easily home in on the information that's the most important to you. And we'll see you next time with more Simplified Shed Stuff.